so much for joining us today. My name is Samantha, and I'm in client services here at the Retirement Group. I moderate these weekly webinars. In just a moment, we're going to be joined by our advisor, Michael Corgett, and he's going to be speaking to Raytheon employees about how you can ensure quality long-term care planning through some asset-based strategies without jeopardizing your financial stability. Before I bring Michael on, however, I'd like to just remind you that although we work very closely with both active and retired members of Raytheon, we are not affiliated nor endorsed whatsoever by Raytheon. The Retirement Group is a completely independent group of financial advisors. Please keep that in mind. I'd also like to let you know that after Michael's presentation, I will jump back on with him very quickly to ask him any questions you may have entered into the Q&A chat throughout his presentation. Please feel free to ask away. It's 100% anonymous, and we will answer as many questions as we can, time permitted. And with all of that boring stuff out of the way now, I'd like to introduce you to our speaker today, Michael Corgett. Hi, Michael.
Thank you, Sam, for that introduction, and welcome everyone to today's presentation. My name is Michael Corgett. I am one of the firm's senior financial advisors here at the Retirement Group. Been doing it a long time, and I want to welcome you to today's presentation. First, let's just talk a little bit about why you want to consider the Retirement Group. Then we'll get into the agenda for our webinar today and some thoughts on how we can help you with our guidance and advice. The Retirement Group is a firm that is made up of a lot of guys like myself with a lot of years of experience. We have offices nationwide. We've got a keen knowledge of the retirement plan, 401k, and medical benefits for a lot of the different Fortune 500 companies that we've worked with for years and years. So we understand your pension. We understand your 401k. We could talk intelligently about them all. We offer a number of resources outside of our knowledge, as I just mentioned. These on-demand webinars are just one of the many things that we offer to help educate, provide information to folks like yourself. We have an ebooks library that's filled with ebooks on a number of different subjects. We also maintain both a newsletter and a blog. We have retirement guides for a lot of the employers that we work with. So all you have to do is reach out to our office and we'd be happy to send you the retirement guide for, let's say, AT&T or Boeing. And then probably one of our finest and I think one of the best resources we offer is our complimentary financial analysis. We call it our Retire Kit. It's a retirement cash flow analysis or a roadmap, where it's a complimentary service too, by the way, where based on the information you're willing to provide us on your pension and your savings and your goals and objectives, we can put together a plan to give you an idea of whether you're on the right path or track towards retirement, whether that retirement might be a month or a year from now, or as long as 5 or 10 years from now. As I said, it's a complimentary service. It's very comprehensive, and we'd be happy to put one together for you. And finally, scanning this QR code will take you to our LinkedIn page. We have a number of resources that are available on our LinkedIn page, including our webinar schedule. So you can sign up for future webinars. You can go to also our website, theretirementgroup.com, to see a number of our resources as well, see all the advisors that you have available, like myself. You can sign up for a 20-minute consultation with one of us. Check out the ebooks library. Just see all the resources that we have available to you that are available both on LinkedIn as well as the Retirement Group. And I also do want to say we maintain a YouTube page as well, where we also keep recordings, the library of all the presentations that we've done. So you can go on to that page as well and search for your company and or a subject that you heard about. And more than likely, we've got a webinar that's already been recorded. So let's dive into today's agenda. We're going to talk about long-term care and long-term care coverage today. And specifically, we're going to talk more about what we call asset-based long-term care and the benefits of considering asset-based long-term care versus the old traditional long-term care insurance, which really, I've been in the business a long time, and I did offer a lot of clients years and years ago some of the traditional coverages. But let's dive into what is the definition of long-term care. Well, it's essentially care and services provided for chronic illness individuals or disabilities, people that need help, whether it's help in the home or help in a facility. And it could be a retirement community. It could be a skilled nursing care. It all depends on what the individual might need, whether it's you or your spouse or someone that you care for, like a parent or an aunt and uncle. It plays a very important role in considerations in your overall retirement plan. And what does that mean? Well, long-term care is a very likely outcome for a lot of us to look forward to. And I won't say it's really something you want to look forward to, but upwards of 70% of people turning 65 will require some sort of help in the future. Help, whether it's in home, as I said, or ultimately into a skilled nursing home. You will need some help, and having the expense of which we will talk about covered somewhat with some kind of insurance would be extremely helpful, because long-term care is expensive. And I'll talk about that here in a minute. Traditional long-term care versus asset-based long-term care. It is coverage that pays for assisted living, nursing homes, home care, and etc. after a waiting period. Disability income insurance is something I've done a lot too, and long-term care is sort of a hybrid of that. You used to consider, okay, how much coverage per day do I need? $100 a day, $300 a day. You want to look at what the costs are in your particular area, because it varies nationwide. How long do I want to wait before I become eligible for those benefits? Would I like to get them soon, like 30 or 60 days? Or am I willing to wait 90, 180, or even a year before those benefits start? The longer the waiting period and the amount of the daily coverage is going to dictate how much the policy costs. And then finally, how long do you want those benefits to help you with, okay? Statistics have shown, and still pretty much hold true, that any retirement age male who's over 65 years of age and does require some kind of long-term care, that average stay is approximately 2.4 years, depending on where it's at, but on average, 2.4 years. For retirement age females, it's longer. It's almost 3.7 years. So waiting period, daily benefit, and benefit period. That's the old way these programs were set up. And initially, they really weren't that expensive, but the industry changed significantly over the years, and many of these insurance companies had to raise the premiums and raise the premiums and raise the premiums, because they were not fixed premium programs. They were allowed to do it across the entire class of coverages. And in many cases, it got too expensive. If you waited longer, in other words, the older you got, the more coverage the more expensive it's going to be. Well, that's a factor as well. And then your health. Your health can dictate whether you can even get the coverage or not. So asset-based insurance has really taken the industry by storm, per se. And we're going to talk more about asset-based long-term care coverage, which is essentially either an life insurance policy or an annuity that offers long-term care benefits along with growth in your underlying assets, the investment that you've made in either the life insurance policy or the annuity. Okay, so features of asset-based coverage. I've talked a little bit about it already. The dual benefit potential. Should you not use the long-term care coverage? You've made an investment, either in insurance or an annuity policy, and you'd never really need the coverage. The coverage is there, but if you don't, the beneficiaries of that investment will get the underlying investment. It will not be lost. Like I said, it's not a traditional insurance policy. You could pay those premiums for years and years and years and never never use the policy and therefore never benefit from it at all, but you put out all that money. It's kind of like auto insurance or homeowners insurance. If you never wreck your car and your home never has a problem, you pay for that insurance and you never consider not having that insurance because of the chances that you might wreck your car or that you might have a fire at home, but you never do it. So again, it's want to consider it that way. Long-term care's viability, the benefits can be both fixed, i.e. a specific daily or monthly value, or they can vary over time. There can be cost of living increases built into it as well. So we all know there's inflation. Inflation in healthcare and in long-term care is traditionally higher as a percentage than overall inflation has been, albeit we've had some terrible inflation here in the States and worldwide for the last couple of years as we battled our way out of COVID. But it's definitely can be covered. And then finally, you've got flexibility where policies might allow beneficiaries to select specific caregivers. You may even see commercials on television where Medicare and Medicaid will allow you to have a family member get paid to help take care of you in your home. Those things hold true with the insurance coverages as well, depending on the carrier that you choose to invest in. The premium structures, it could be in the form of a lump sum. You can make contributions over a period of years. It offers a lot of flexibility. And obviously, where do those dollars come from? Well, your situation, everyone's is different. Everyone's is unique, all right? If you've got some money sitting either in an after-tax investment account or possibly a qualified retirement account like an IRA, you can use those funds to fund a long-term care annuity or a long-term care life insurance policy. And there's tremendous benefits that go along with it. It would probably be easiest to show you some illustrations. So obviously it would benefit you if you'd like to reach out to one of us and we could put some thoughts and ideas after we talk to you about your current situation. But keep all of that in mind. Those benefits, by the way, are tax-free. So you can actually make an investment in a long-term care annuity or a long-term care life insurance policy. And if you actually do utilize the long-term care benefits in those contracts, those benefits are tax-free. And actually, long-term care expenses that are not covered can be written off on a Schedule A on your individual tax returns, depending on your own financial situation. It gives you peace of mind because it eliminates wasted premiums, much of what I just talked about. You're making an investment, but you're also providing that investment will also offer you certain coverages potentially for your healthcare needs and long-term care needs down the road. So you got to keep that in mind. And that cash value can be accessed even prior to, like many other investments. So in other words, if you need access to the funds for some other reason, possibly a retirement income, whatever it might be, you can access these programs and make withdrawals. And if you choose to, these contracts, these investments can be terminated as well. The long-term care coverages do go away with them, but it's not something where you're making a lifetime investment and you can't have access to it, or you can't just decide, hey, I don't feel I have a need for this any longer. I want to take my money back. So some of the considerations, potential downsides, higher upfront costs, that's a given. We're talking about lump sums of money, $50,000, $100,000, $250,000, even $500,000, depending on how much coverage you want. Are you trying to cover yourself and your spouse? What area you live in? What do you feel like you're going to need? Also, your current health, your existing health conditions could have an impact on the overall cost as well. We're all getting older. We all have little health issues, in some cases, some more significant health issues. So you have to keep that in mind. Best bet is to consult someone like myself here at the retirement group to find out, hey, I don't really know what I'm looking for. Let us ask you a bunch of questions, get an idea of what you're really trying to accomplish, just like we do with financial planning, investment management and advice, retirement planning, insurance planning, and so on. We'll help you to determine what you need by asking you questions to help fill in the blanks. So, in recap, we've talked about asset-based long-term care coverage. It's definitely a contemporary approach to managing your potential future income needs. And like I said, these programs do offer dual benefits. It is an investment. It can pass on to your beneficiaries. You can maximize the value of the underlying investment. And then obviously it can provide you with tax-free coverage for in-home care, skilled nursing care, or custodial care. It all just depends on what your potential needs might be. So with all that said, I mentioned earlier, make sure you have a plan, and this could be and probably should be part of your overall retirement insurance and estate planning needs. Get it done. I like to say a couple of things. 74% of Americans over the age of 50 don't have a plan at all. So take advantage of the complimentary service that we offer. And I always like to quote something I heard years and years ago. More people will spend more time planning a 2-week vacation than they will their own financial futures. So it's important. Take advantage of that opportunity with us here at the Retirement Group. You could schedule a meeting first by scanning the QR code here on the left. Schedule a meeting with myself or one of my colleagues. And again, the QR code on the right will take you again to our LinkedIn page. You can go to or send us an email at info@theretirementgroup.com. And finally, give us a shout. Our main office phone number is 1-800-900-5867. One of my colleagues will be happy to talk to you. I hope you found this helpful. I could talk about this for quite some time, and I'd look forward to that opportunity. But finally, I'm sure we have some questions, so I'm going to hand the meeting back to Sam just to see what we've got out there as far as questions. Sam?
Hey, Michael.
There you are.
There I am. Okay, I was waiting for my camera to focus. All right, we got a couple great questions. I want to make sure that we answer as many as we can, with also getting everyone out in a timely manner and respecting everybody's afternoon here. All right, Michael, first one. I am turning 60 this year. Is it too late to start planning for long-term care?
Great question. And no, it's not. The sooner that you get started, the better off you will be. I mean, you're 60 now. Might have been smarter when we were 40, but we didn't think about it when we were 40. You're never too old to plan for long-term care, because chances are you're probably not going to be using it until your 70s or 80s if you use it at all. So simply stated, no, it's not. A lot of the factors that I sort of touched on during the presentation do apply. But again, it really would just, let's find out by reaching out to one of us and letting us put some thoughts together for you.
Righty, thank you. Number 2, what factors should I consider when estimating the cost of long-term care?
Another great question. I touched on a few already. The real key you want to consider, and these statistics are available on our glorious internet, but just in general, in-home care and simple care potentially in a facility can run $5,000 a month. $5,000 a month, that's a lot of money. Skilled and or custodial care can be twice that, and in some cases more than $10,000 a month. That's on average. Coverage is going to be more expensive in New York City than it's going to be in St. Louis, Missouri. It's going to be higher in California. I'm not picking on the coast, but it just happens to be the area that you live in, just like healthcare. Healthcare is more expensive in certain areas than other areas. Do I want to cover all of this potential need, or do I just want to supplement with a benefit? Do I want to cover myself and my spouse? There are discounts when you cover the two of you. Okay, so there's a lot of these factors that you need to consider. You can get coverage for everything, or you can get coverage for, let's just say, in-home care or custodial care, or all of it put together. So again, a lot of things you got to consider. Talk to a professional. We know what questions to ask, and then we'll just put some thoughts and ideas together for you.
Alrighty, thank you. Number 3, I've never heard of long-term care insurance. How does an asset-based long-term care insurance policy work, and how is it different from a regular long-term care insurance?
Good question. There's a lot of a question there. I sort of touched on the older traditional long-term care policies where you want to look at your waiting period, your benefit period, and the amount of the daily benefit. That's typically how these plans were sold years and years and years ago. And I'm going back 20, 25 years. Versus an asset-based program. Again, what do you have to work with to consider setting aside for and or investing in a long-term care policy? It all depends. I'll say that. Where you live, your health could dictate some things as well. You have significant health conditions, it would make the long-term care portion of the coverage more expensive. All considerations. Be open when you talk to a financial professional about your financial situation as well as your medical situation. Obviously, we can do some research on the area that you live in. I work with individuals all over the United States. I happen to be based here in the Midwest. It's a little cheaper to live here in the Midwest than it might be on the East or West Coast. So it's all different. And I just like healthcare, very fluent on healthcare benefits as well. So just again, give us an opportunity, and I'm sure we can help answer your questions specific to your own situation.
All righty, thank you. Last one. Once again, if we did not get to your questions today, I apologize. Please use the link to book an appointment with Michael Corgett after this presentation. All righty, Michael, last one. How can I trust that my long-term care planning doesn't compromise the estate I am planning to leave my kids?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about an asset-based coverages. So this asset will be part of your overall estate plan. You can have a trust own these contracts and the benefits get paid out for your benefit. You could have other individuals, your children could own the benefits. I mean, estate planning is a very broad area. Avoiding estate taxes, making sure my assets pass to the people that I care about and that I love, i.e. beneficiaries. I mentioned earlier that asset-based coverages, if they are used, whatever's left over when you pass can pass by estate plan, by contract, through to those that you care about, i.e. the beneficiaries. It's an all-encompassing thing. So, I mean, tying it as part of an overall estate plan is something that can definitely be done because it is an asset, and you do estate planning around a lot of things that are assets, whether it's your IRA and your pension or your brokerage accounts or your other life insurance policies, your home, businesses, and so on. So great question. I could probably talk about it for a long time, but I won't bore all of you on that. Just again, give us a call or send us an email, and we'd look forward to the chance to share some ideas with you.
All righty, Michael, that was it. That was all.
Great. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your time, and have a great day.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Michael. Have a good day.
You too.